There have been mixed reactions to the Speaker of Parliament, issue about the lifestyle audit, for individuals suspected of amassing unexplained wealth, while some say this marks a significant step towards enhancing Ghana's fight against corruption. Others think there really isn't any need for this audit. Well, let's hear from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, who believes the proposed bill will empower state institutions to investigate the lifestyles of public officials, politically exposed persons, and private individuals whose standard of living does not correlate with their known sources of income.
Parliament in March 2025 signed a memorandum of understanding with Key Accountability Institutions Network consisting of SHRAJ, IOCO, OSP, and others to combat corruption and crime. Parliament, under the obligation, is expected to initiate the National Integrity Awards to recognize and honor citizens who demonstrate exceptional commitment to ethical conduct and transparency. Briefing the Speaker on progress of work so far, SHRAJ Commissioner Joseph Whittal says, although there have been some initial challenges, they have made headway in getting other institutions to sign on to the cause.
While the intent of the MOU has been convincing, implementation has faced challenges, including the inability of heads to meet regularly as envisaged. However, I believe today's meeting is a corrective and forward-looking step in the right direction, and that it behoves us at this meeting to chart a new way forward.
Reacting to the development, Speaker Alban Bagbin first called for deeper collaboration between key accountability institutions to help deal with the widespread corruption among citizens.
As rightly noted in the preamble to the Memorandum of Understanding, the lack of coordination and collaboration among key accountability institutions has diminished the potential for institutionalizing the culture of transparency and accountability in public life.
He also indicated that the Integrity Award will run concurrently with what he calls the Vulture Award, which will name and shame people who are deeply involved in corruption.
This, we will identify such a person and name the person when we are doing the awards for the persons of integrity. Whether the person attends to take the cross or not, it will be hung there on the person's neck. Very, very important.
On the raging call for legislation for lifestyle audit of citizens, he said Parliament is ready to begin the drafting of a bill.
And I was happy to hear OSP also include it in their statement. We will legislate and we will stop this impunity of people flouting ill-gotten wealth in the face of poor Ghanaians.
The two parties will draft modalities for a smooth rollout of the Integrity Award in the coming weeks. James Savaji, Parliament House, Accra.
Well, let's speak to Adam Senanu. He's a member of the Africa Union of Advisory Board on Corruption. Mr. Senanu, we're grateful for your time on our desk.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you had the Speaker of Parliament there. What are your initial reactions?
Well, the Speaker is right. As you may be aware, last week the AU Advisory Board Against Corruption worked with the government of Ghana to do a country review. And one of the elements of the convention that Ghana has signed up to is the issue of illicit enrichment and lifestyle audits. From our review, we don't have any law that covers that. We have some elements in the IOCO law at the moment, but as a matter of fact, Ghana is not yet compliant with ensuring that lifestyle audits can be conducted on anyone who is seen to be living a lifestyle beyond their means and is suspected of, whether it's money laundering, illicit enrichment, etc. So the Speaker is absolutely right when he talks about the need for this kind of law.
Right. I mean, let me avert your mind to Article 286, Clause 4 of the 1992 Constitution. And it says that any property or assets acquired by a public officer after the initial declaration required by clause 1 of this article, and which is not reasonably attributable to income, gift, loan, inheritance, or any other reasonable source, shall be deemed to have been acquired in contravention of this constitution. I mean, the constitution lays that acquiring, any form of profit that is not known to your source of income, but doesn't provide any sanctions to this. What do you make of this article in the Constitution? Is it punitive enough? I don't think it's not punitive.
Well, the Constitution, as you know, is not the operational level of law. The Constitution sets the framework. It's usually on the back of the Constitution. You then have a law that then indicates which institution will have the mandate to follow up on such issues. Now, that's where we have the challenge. Although the Constitution has said we will proscribe any such actions, especially if you have individuals found to have monies beyond the legitimate sources of income that they can validate, that we can also that, yes, the remuneration can be translated into the assets and resources we find in your account. The legal level, at the law level, we don't have any institutions that have been mandated specifically, except for IOCO, which has a portion that says that if persons are found with monies beyond their means, it may be deemed as criminal funds. But we don't have a law that explicitly says that when you identify these situations, you should investigate and get to the bottom of the matter. Indeed, the IOCO one also there's a challenge there because, as you know, IOCO is effectively parastate because the appointments of those who are in charge come from the government of the day. And so their willingness, as we discovered in the case of Cecilia Dapa, to pursue a particular case or not, depends on who is in government and when they feel this is an issue of a lifestyle audit or not. So we're all disappointed that even though IOCO, for example, within their law, has something that would allow them to have picked up these resources and said, look, we are cross-checking, and then gone beyond what the OSP did. They refuse to do that. So the suggestion of the speaker, in my mind, he's talking about a law that allows any agency that is in the anti-corruption space, any school, to have the capacity to leverage that law and then begin to investigate. Such that if we have one institution that has been compromised by the state, there may be others that can still proceed to investigate and prosecute individuals who are found to have resources beyond their means.
I mean, with what the speaker is talking about legislating on this particular lifestyle audit, what would you want to see from where you sit in such a legislation?
Well, I think that one of the reasons why what he's saying also makes sense, and probably means we need to then perhaps even do a bit of adjustment at the constitutional level, if necessary, to the CRC, is, there's what you just quoted in the Article 2864, I think, is limited to public officers. But we know that when it comes to corrupt practices, illicit enrichment, there's the demand and supply. Both public and private sectors are involved. So we need to expand this whole issue of lifestyle audit to cover any citizens who appear to be living beyond their means and we can't, there's unexplained wealth, so to speak. So that's one of the things I'll be looking for in such a law. The second thing is that law should not be tied to just one anti-graft agency, which is the situation we have where only IOCO at the moment has something minor. That was even an upgrade of their old law. And when IOCO decided not to act, nobody could do anything. So let's keep it open so that any anti-graft agency that believes that something wrong has happened can leverage the law, investigate, and hold persons who are engaged in impunity accountable. I think that these are at least two areas. First of all, making sure it's not just limited to public sector, and secondly, making sure that any anti-graft agency that is not compromised, that believes something has gone wrong, can proceed to investigate and prosecute such persons as the case may be.
How cost effective will this be if it is, put into law?
I don't know about cost effectiveness, but to the extent that we are losing 3 billion on average, is estimated annually. And if you look at the last time we went to the IMF, we went to borrow 3 billion to pay back in 3 years. And that's what we are losing in 1 year. There's every reason to take any actions that are necessary to reduce the levels of impunity that are going on. And so if this is one more mechanism or strategy within the basket of gamut of things that we have, that we can, as it were, execute to reduce the losses to the state, and then retrieve resources and assets that individuals have stolen, I think that it's a worthy cause.
Right. Thank you so much, Adam Senanu. He's a member of the African Union Advisory Board on Corruption.